everyone. Today, we have a truly inspiring personality with us, Mr. Ganesh Shankar Rai, an alumnus of Sunbeam School Varuna and board topper of the 2011-12 batch. He has turned his academic excellence into a journey of growth and leadership. A graduate from IIT BHU Varanasi, he is currently working as AVP Product Strategic Initiatives in the field of AI and analytics at Netcore Cloud. From classrooms of Varanasi to leading impactful innovations in the corporate world, his journey is a perfect example of determination, adaptability, and continuous learning. We are delighted to have you with us, sir. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, Adya. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm also very happy to come back to my alumnus after a long time. Uh, let's get started.
Okay, so shall I begin with the first question?
Sure.
Being a topper and achiever, did you ever feel pressure or fear of failure? How did you deal with expectations, both from yourself and others?
Pressure and fear of failure is something that every human feels. So I don't think there is any point denying that there is anyone who doesn't feel that. And I would feel even small amount of pressure and some fear of failure is a good thing, right? It keeps you on track and it keeps you always motivated. But at the same time, we should make sure that it doesn't we should not allow it to overpower us, because then the fear itself becomes so big that we are not able to focus at the task that is in front of us, right? And that's actually true for anyone, not just for a student. It's true for any sports personality that you know, any successful person that you know, right? Even when a sports person has to play a final, they are of course worried, right? They're going to be performing on a big stage. There are so many people who are watching them, and they do want to perform their best, right? It keeps them on track. But at the same time, if they fear too much, they will freeze under the pressure and they will not be able to perform. So some amount of pressure is good, but always make sure that you never allow it to overpower yourself. And another thing which worked for me when I was a student is to look at it in a different way, right? Human mind tends to focus more on things, on what may go wrong. But you can also think of what would happen if everything goes right, right? And when you look at it from a positive aspect, you will see that you will have more motivation, you will have more energy, and you'll be more focused on your task, right? So think of what would happen in case you perform, you achieve your good marks, you achieve whatever you are working in. How proud your parents would be, how happy your friends would be, and how would all that look like, which will bring a positive energy in you.
That was really inspiring. So, my second question to you is, in today's world, students are constantly comparing themselves with others. How can one stay focused on their own journey without getting distracted by comparison?
That's actually a very good question. I feel even like since the time that I have passed, I feel this has become a bigger and bigger problem. So when I appeared for my board exams in 2012, there was not much social media. There was almost no mention of Instagram that one would know of, and hence we would not constantly compare ourselves to the world out there, right? You would at most know your friends, your colleagues, and let's say friends that you have at your home, and the comparison was not that much, right? But nowadays, because anyone from anywhere could see any child who is, let's say, based out of a different country or a different city, the chances of this happening where you compare yourself with someone else, and you feel maybe that you are behind someone, is much more higher. And in those scenarios, I feel the best thing to look at is look at your own strengths, right? If you keep improving 1% every day, every week, right, that is the best thing that is in your control. So always focus on how can you keep improving. Your competition should always be yourself, right? Keep improving, make yourself better. If you are better than what you were last week, if you are better than what you were last year, that itself is a great progress, right? And that will always keep you grounded, that will always keep you on the right path, because you don't know what others are going through. You may only see a part of their life, you may only see a part of what they're showing you, but you always know your own reality. So I, in my experience, just always making sure that whether I am making progress, whether I am a better student, I am a better learner, I am a better engineer, I am a better employee, compared to last year, compared to last month, that progress itself should is the best way to keep yourself grounded and keep yourself on the right path.
That was really thoughtful of you. So, my third question to you is, how do you define success today? Has your definition changed from your school days to now?
Uh, Definitely, the definition of success has changed from when I was in school to now when I'm in a corporate life. Uh, a good example would be that when I was in school, when I was in class 11, 12th, my only focus and my only criteria for success was cracking the JEE exam. But once I'd cracked that exam and once I went to college, I then had to think of a new definition for success, right? Because success, now you are within people who have all cracked that exam. So you are no longer the most successful person there. And you have to now think that what is the best that I can do here? There are other opportunities, other exposures that you have to open up to yourself. And hence, this is success is never a fixed definition. It always keeps evolving. Any person who is making progress in his life, actually, for him, the definition of success would keep changing. An example with which probably a lot of students could relate would, let's say, is Virat Kohli. He has, I remember reading an interview of him where he mentioned that when he was 17, 18, and he was playing for the under 19 cricket team, he just wanted to play once for India. That was success for him. But out of a billion people, so many people aspire to play for the Indian cricket team. If he was one of those who was in the playing 11, that would have been a huge success for him. But once he was part of the Indian team, he then wanted to become a good batsman. Then he wanted to become the best batsman there is, the best T20 batsman, the best ODI batsman, the best test batsman. Then he aspired to become the best captain that there has been in India, right? So there is no single definition of success. As we grow up in life, as our roles and responsibilities and our outlook in life changes, the definition of success changes. But what we should always focus upon is that we are making progress. As I said, a person who is making progress will always have different definitions of success at different parts of their life. But in an overall trajectory, it always keeps shifting forward.
Thank you, sir. That's really great. The fourth question is, what habits or small daily practices do you follow that have made a big difference in your life over time?
So there are many things that one can do to like to get advantage or to have a better control over their life. But one thing that has definitely helped me, a practice that I used to have even when I was a student, even when I was in college, and even in corporate life, is basically planning for things ahead rather than reacting to them when they happen. I'll give you an example. So today also in corporate life, most of the people think that the week starts on Monday, but and if you start your work on Monday, it's you will always be reacting to things as they happen because there may a lot of things start happening as the week starts. But what I like to do is I spend an hour on Sunday night planning that what is it that I want to do in the next coming week. And I have goals for myself that this is what I'll close, this is the person I have to talk to, this is the thing that I have to move forward on. And hence, even when all the chaos starts, when the week starts, I have a very clear goal of what is it that I have to achieve in this week. And later on, when the next Sunday comes, I'm able to evaluate whether I was able to make progress or not. A lot, and that is a trick that worked for me as a student as well. As a student who was preparing for JE, and you also have to manage your board examinations, there was always this constant balance that you're trying to strike, right? Whether to focus on boards or whether to focus on JE preparations. What about the test, unit test, the half yearly exams which are happening in the school? What about the surprise tests that are happening in your JE preparation? And again, in that at that time as well, the habit of planning beforehand, that I would always make a plan for myself on Sunday that this is what I'll achieve in this particular week. These are the chapters that I'll close. Let's say I'll close one chapter of physics, one chapter of chemistry, one chapter of maths. And that would always keep me on track. And that would always give me a measure of whether I'm making progress or not. If I felt that for 2, 3 weeks, whatever targets I have set, I've not been able to achieve them, then it means that I'm falling behind. Most of the people, when they don't do this exercise, they are never able to measure their performance. They're never able to measure whether they are on the right track, whether they are achieving the expected things or expected outcomes in a given amount of time. And I think this one habit from school till my corporate life has helped me a lot.
That would really help us too, sir. Thank you. My fifth question to you is, if you could go back and give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be and why?
I think there are many things that now that I have age on my side, I can give advice back to my younger self. The most important thing would be probably to remember that no success is permanent and no failure is permanent in life. And to elaborate further on this, if I look at my journey from JE to my corporate world, there were many friends that I had who were very hardworking, who were very intelligent, but for whatever reasons were not able to crack that JE exam. But because they continued to work hard and they continued to follow the right path, they are today very ahead in life compared to many other people who studied with me in IITs, but then did not, but they stopped working hard, right? They felt that now that I've cracked this exam, this is everything in life, and they felt that now their whole life is set because they were able to do one thing right, which is never actually the case. Life will always give you chances to succeed, so even if you had a failure, it's only temporary in nature. There will be more opportunities further ahead in life which you can latch on to, work hard, and then prove yourself and achieve success in life. At the same time, someone who has been successful, if he stops working hard, if he stops focusing on the right things, he'll fall behind. So probably the most important thing to always remember is that everything in life is temporary, right? Whether your success or your failure, and we always have to keep working hard and keep raising the bar for ourselves.
I really appreciate your perspective, sir. Now it's the time for rapid fire.
Sure.
And if you could master one skill instantly, what would it be?
I think it would be the skill of moderation, as I was mentioning in my last answer. It's actually, while it is easier to give an advice that one should always take success. One should not allow success to go to your head, and should not allow failure to bring you down. It's actually very hard to practice in person, right? So, but again, if there is one skill I could master, it would actually be the skill of moderation. So that when I achieve something that I want, I am able to keep myself grounded and keep working hard. And even if I fail at something, I have the courage to pick myself up and start working again.
That's really great. A myth about toppers you want to break?
Probably that toppers have no fun. In my 11th and 12th, when I was in Sunbeam, I think anyone who has studied with me, all my friends, all my teachers would totally agree that I had a lot of fun. But a lot of people used to think that toppers only keep studying and they have no fun in their life. So
Okay. Your go-to productivity hack?
uh, as I said before, also I think the it's always focusing on what makes me 1% better, not focusing on the larger stuff of the things. How can I just because progress doesn't happen in one day. So if you keep a very high goal for yourself, it will always you'll always find it hard to achieve, and you'll feel demotivated at times. But a very simple hack is always to compare yourself with the person you were a week ago. And if you are better, if you have a good answer to that, if you have learned something new, if you have picked up a new hobby, if you have picked up a new skill, that is the biggest productivity hack.
Okay. If success had a color, what would it be for you?
uh, Yellow, probably. Yellow is the color of sun. Yellow is the color that brings all the energy. So yellow.
If your life was a movie, what would its title be?
Probably, since my life is still in progress, I would say work in progress.
Okay. One Sunbeam memory you would never forget.
One Sunbeam memory. There are actually many memories that I have of Sunbeam, which I very fondly remember. I'm also lucky to still be in touch with my friend group from Sunbeam, and still hang out with them whenever I'm back in the city. But I think the best memory would be the first time I came to Sunbeam. Right, Aarti Chopra ma'am was the principal at that point of time for Sunbeam Varuna, and the confidence and the support she offered to a student who was new to the school, who did not know anyone in the school, is something that I really valued and appreciated at that point of time, and something that helped me adopt to the new school very well, and gave me the comfort and confidence to succeed and excel at Varuna. So I think that support that she offered is something that I really value.
Thank you once again, sir, for sharing your inspiring journey with us. We are sure that our listeners have gained both wisdoms and smiles today. This is Abhya Kushwaha from Sunbeam Sarnath Beamcast signing off. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep making a difference. Thank you and Jai Hind.